Hey, it's Troy. Don't hate me for not knowing how to do this part of my algebra. I probably should have paid closer attention when I was in middle school and high school. But here's my situation. Please don't share this too broadly, right? Feel free to use it with your class, but this is the real deal. We did some research and we asked people and said, hey, would you be willing to pay for Camtasia, my software, at a certain price point? And we did a sample, meaning we surveyed people that were external, people that weren't our customers. We also surveyed people that were our customers, so that's sort of the internal sample. But for our purposes, I'm just going to use this blue line, which are our non-customers. So if we were going to talk to people who haven't bought from us yet, how likely would they be to pay at a certain price? And the answer was $400 or 99, 95% would pay for it. The alternative is if we charge $500, only 7% would pay for it. And as it turned out, this was the price, 70%. Now, lots of things happened, and we changed that price to $199 because previously it was $299, and we went down to $199, and now my boss is saying I think we ought to move it to $249. And I'm swallowing really hard because I'm looking at that and thinking, let's see, 70% going down to 43. That's going to be a drop, right? And I can tell how much of a drop it would be because I would say, well, if 70% would buy at 199, I just multiply 70% by 199, and that's like, okay, this is just a fudge number of 139. And if 43% are going to buy at 249, well, that's a fudge number. If you multiply those two together, that's a fudge number of 107. By fudge, it's like a made up, but at least you're multiplying the same thing by the same thing, and I can see, ooh, I'm going to drop 22% in terms of my potential. But I actually want to get down to real numbers. So here's my real numbers, and this is the quandary that I got. So in 2017, we sold 75,000 copies, which means that if you divide that by 12, 6,286 seats. On the web, that generated $14.34 million for us. I know, kind of a lot, right? But I got a lot of mouths to feed, hundreds of people at TechSmith to pay for their kids' college education, all that good stuff. So you got that much millions of dollars per month, so $1.195 million a month. My question is, and this is where I'm trying to get to the algebra part that I don't quite understand, and so I really need your help here. Here's where I'm at, right? So if I look at it and I say, if the last year's web sales represented 70%, this is, you can see me trying to build the equation. If last year's web sales, actually let's just do this. Let's just use total, not monthly. We're just going to use total, okay? If last year's web sales was 14 million, and that represented 70%, right? So this is sort of like an A over B equals C, or let's say it was 4 and 5, and if this was 6, well then what's x, right? And if there was an equal sign between these, this is obviously what I'm trying to do here, right? So if 14 million represented 70%, cool. What's my number here if it's x? Like if it was 43%. That's just assuming it was 199, but really, how do I do it when the likelihood to pay is not 199 but 249? This is where I need your genius. Heck, I would even be happy. I mean, I can do the math if it's 199 because I know how you cross multiply and whatnot. But how do I pull that off at 249? That's where I need the help. So if this sounds even remotely interesting, I would love to get your help and just knowing how to set it up. Thanks, love. Bye-bye.